Well, here we are, very near to Bath, and we're in the front room of Duncan Bell, the England and Bath prop forward. Normally seen rampaging on the wing because he's a bit of a frustrated back, but here he is sitting with a drum kit. We're not used to this, Duncan. Perhaps you'd better explain.
Well, I always fancied playing drums as a kid. Never really could afford it. Could afford the drum set or the lessons. So it wasn't until I got a real job as a rugby player that I decided, I wanted to take up the drums. So I did that a few years ago. And although I've been playing on and off, now in a little band, play a few little gigs, and it's just really get my frustration out really, and not think about rugby and do something else.
So what's the name of the band, and what sort of gigs do you play?
Well, the name of the band we're called Lemon Venom. I've not been with them very long, but they're based in Bristol, and it's just rock music, play our own stuff, a few covers, but all in all, I just go down there really to have a bit of fun, and gigging is a great buzz, and it's great to do, and as I said before, it's not rugby, so it's something else, and it gives me it entertains me outside of the oval ball game.
So when you talk about gigs, what are we talking about? Live at Ashton Gate in front of 25,000?
Well, it'd be nice. I'm nowhere near that good, unfortunately. Like I say, it's only a hobby. I've only been doing it a while on and off. But no, normally in front of, I don't know, anything from 3 people to 50 people. We did play a gig at the Rec for the supporters a year or so ago. That's probably the biggest gig I've done. There's a few hundred there. Lots of mistakes. Made a bit of a prat myself, but it was good fun, and plenty of beer was consumed afterwards.
For some reason, you don't equate drummers with prop forwards. I don't know why that is, but would you say that's a fair comment?
I don't know. I suppose so. There's plenty of big units behind the drums playing for bands, but anyone can play the drums. It's just like I said. It's just I get my frustrations out, and you could be any shape or size to play. Thankfully.
Well, you play in a front five at Bath, full of gnarled old characters. David Barnes, chairman of the PFA, Lee Mears, Danny Grucock, the enforcer, Dave Flatman. What do they think of you being a sexy drummer?
I wouldn't say sexy. Not a lot, I don't think. I get plenty of the mickey taken out of me for it, and I always keep quiet about the gigs because I know if I tell them where they're going to be, they're going to turn up and heckle me, which is not great. As I said, I couldn't really keep quiet the gig I did at Bath a couple of years ago. But I was fortunate that it was a couple of nights before a game. I think I was injured, so not many turned up, and so I didn't get heckled too much. But no, they take the mickey out of me about it. But as I said, for me, it gets a lot of frustration out for me, and I can hit things really hard and legally, and and I said I've got this acoustic, this drum set, so I can turn the volume down so I don't upset the neighbours.
So Duncan, who are your drumming heroes? Who are the drummers you've aspired to be? Past or present? Anyone
other than me, really. No, obviously there's Keith Moon from The Who, but and Trey Cool at Green Day. Taylor Hawkins at the Foo Fighters, really amazing drummer, really. So yeah, those are the sorts of guys, but they're way better than I am, and I'm very much a beginner. So I'd love to be better, but who knows?
When you were a kid, did you have sort of people want to be, I don't know, Mick Jagger, or they want to be Keith Richards, but you were rather...
I wanted to be the one-armed drummer from Def Leppard. That's
did you?
What I wanted to be. Yeah, that was very much my era. So it always impressed me really that you could play the drums with one arm. So yeah, incredible.
So you actually wanted to be a one-armed drummer?
Maybe not one-armed, but it was something I've always wanted to do, and it wasn't until the last couple of years that I decided to do it. So what the hell, just get a kit and just thrash about on it.
Okay, so let's go back 15 years, and you've got the choice. Become an England rugby international and a professional, well-paid rugby player for one of the most traditional, successful and famous clubs in the Northern Hemisphere, or be a rock drummer for a successful rock group? One or the other, which would it be?
Oh, that's a tough question. That is a tough question. I suppose stay with what you got. I mean, it's nice to play rugby, so I suppose hand on heart, say rugby. But I'd love to live just a little life of a rock star, just for a while, just to see what it's like. I think that'd be amazing.
Now, rugby players, there's an awful lot of musicians in the higher echelons of rugby. You could actually form a super group. I'm not sure whether super's the right word, but perhaps you could just go through your ideal super group.
Well, we did actually have a group at Bath. Peter Short was the lead singer. Martin.
I've got to stop you there. I know Peter Short. Yeah. As lead singer.
As lead singer.
Does he have a voice?
He has a good voice. Really good voice.
Okay, all right. I apologise to Shorty.
Martin Purdy, the ex-Wasps and Bath Lock. He was on lead guitar. Rob Hawkins, the hooker here, was just going to Leicester. He was on the bass guitar and me on drums. So we played a gig, charity gig, in Bath.
What's the name of the group?
Name of the group was Moose Knuckle.
Right, catchy.
Yeah, and we tried to get on the playlist at the PRA Awards, but they politely declined us. But we went all right. We weren't too bad.
Are you talking in the past?
That was a couple of years ago, yeah.
So you've gone your separate ways?
Well, Martin Purdy was the real brains behind it all, and he left to go and play in Italy. So.
I think the phrase is either musical or creative differences.
Something like that, yeah.
But further afield, I mean, Joe Worsley's an exceptionally good pianist. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Johnny Wilkinson.
Actually, I do know that because in the autumn internationals, Johnny and Wurzel were in the next door room to me, and every night I could hear the piano and the guitar going off for hours on end, and it was them two playing. So yeah, I did hear that. Yeah, so well, fair play to them.
Yeah, does Ollie Barkley do a tune of some sort?
I think he's I don't think he's a.
Well, you got DJ Shape in Bath, haven't you? Shantae and Harpe.
Yeah, he's got Shapey, but I think Barks is trying to be a DJ as well. I think he's got the decks and everything, so he's musically minded as well. And obviously, there's Matt Stevens was a good guitarist and singer, and he was originally one of the members of Moose Knuckle, but we did have creative differences. And he decided we were a bit too far out there for him, so he left.
You know that Leicester Tigers, your traditionally arch rivals, have got a band as well?
Well, Sam Vesti is in that band.
And where's he going to?
And he's coming to Bath. So, and he's a guitar player. So with Purds gone, Vesti can step right in, and Moose Knuckle could be reformed. So you've heard it here first. I think Moose Knuckle are on the way back. Do
you think, nobody's asked Sam Vesti this question, oddly enough, do you think he actually moved to Bath primarily to reform Moose Knuckle?
I think that was possibly the icing on the cake for him. We did try and tell Steve Meehan to mention it, so maybe that was the icing on the cake that made him sign. I mean,
did Steve Meehan and the rest of the Bath management let it be known that we're looking for a tasty utility back who's also quite good on the guitar?
Probably, yeah. It's he'll definitely fit in down here, and especially if we allow him into Moose Knuckle, I'm sure he'll do a good job.
Well, I think it's only right that we end this musical time with Duncan Bell with a second little session. If you'd like to introduce yourself and play us out.
Oh, God. All right. Well, I'm Duncan Bell, and this is how you don't play the drums.